Here we go, folks. We're back with another post-match pint on the roof at Malone's in Glasgow. We're under shelter. I think it's just stopped absolutely chucking it down. Obviously, the storm is not past yet. We've just watched Celtic beat Clyde 3-0 at Broadwood. What a spectacle, boys. I've got Declan and Vine with me again, by the way. Listen, professional job done and into the next round. That's all it's about, isn't it, Declan?
It was like a training match or a pre-season friendly. The second half, there's really not much probably to say about the game apart from the job get done and we're into the next round and that's it.
We'll need to find something to say.
Well, aye, so I'll try and find something to say. The conditions were horrendous today, and if you look at the first half, even the fact that Clyde chose to play out from where we were standing,
swap sides.
Aye, they swapped sides. It showed that they were looking for any sort of advantage that they could get, and the ball was just flying that way. In the first half, every time they put it down for a dead ball situation, it was running 5 yards to the right.
Aye.
And every time that the ball was going up all around the park, it was carried with the wind. And in that sort of condition, it takes a level head, it takes keeping the ball on the deck, and it keeps playing the ball at pace to try and get yourself moving. And we did that quite effectively in the first half. Clyde were, again, as you would expect for the lower team, kind of hatchet men at times, trying to just kind of stall play and get the ball back. And I think we did a professional enough job to see it out. The second half was practically watching paint dry for 40 minutes, and it was just one of the ones that you just had to see over the line. Thank goodness we're through at the next round, and good for probably a couple of players to get a run out in the legs.
Another away game, by the way, St Johnstone. We've drawn St Johnstone in the quarter final.
Another away one.
Back up to Perth. Declan, we've seen a few changes to the team. Christie came in, back his first start since he's been out since winter break. El Yunusi back in the team, who's massive for us, and a first start for Klimala. What did you make of them starting with Klimala?
I thought it was good that we utilised the squad. There was players needing a rest. Callum McGregor, it was good for him to sit out today, and obviously Odson Edward to keep them wrapped up. But we've still got a big game on Wednesday against Hearts. Did the fringe players challenge for first team positions? Guys like Christie maybe in with a shout, but again, no, it's how you drop.
We knew that, but didn't we?
Yeah, we did, but it's still how you're going to drop. You're not going to drop Brown and Ntcham. I think he's playing terrifically well. He took his goal really well today, and obviously McGregor's missed our consistency, so I don't really know where Christie's going to get his place back in the team, but he looked fit and fresh and had some really good bits of play today.
If he's competing with Ntcham though, if he's competing with Ntcham for a place, did himself absolutely no favours, absolutely skying that ball for about 18 yards.
There was a few dodgy shots.
That was a Ntcham shot.
But
at least they can blame the wind this week.
But no, I thought it was good for Elyounoussi to get game time. It's good for Borley to come back in and get game time. We've got a big squad. We need to utilise it, and we did that today. But whether or not any of the guys will be back in the first team plans as of yet, I don't know. Klimala was okay, but he had an absolute
glorious chance.
The ball through the Forest, which he should be tucked away. And I'm sure he probably knows that himself. But again, it was good for him to get a run out, and we'll just need to hopefully find it will kick on the side.
I think there's a lot of development in him. I don't think he's the finished article anywhere near it yet. Right, El Yunusi back in the team is huge for us. 4-2-3-1 today. El Yunusi being back means that Neil Lennon's going to have a decision to make in these big games coming up. We've got Europa League on the horizon. You think about the bigger games to come domestically as well. Are we going to go back to 4-2-3-1? El Yunusi's a huge player for us and he can be massive in this running. Or are we going to stick with 3-5-2? Because I don't think 3-5-2 accommodates El Yunusi.
3-5-2 doesn't accommodate El Yunusi. El Yunusi's not going to be able to play the wing back slot like probably what Forrest has been asked to do on the right hand side.
I think most likely he could play behind Edward, but it's unlikely.
It's unlikely. I think for El Yunusi to get back into the team, it does have to be 4-2-3-1. I think that when we're talking about big games coming up, if we're looking at the Copenhagen game, I think 4-2-3-1 is probably the way that we would go with that one. I think that the 3-5-2 thing is perhaps aligned to trying to rectify what happened twice in December. I think 3-5-2 is with a nod to running that sort of formation against the other side of Glasgow, and I think that for that, I think it might be. I might be wrong, but I think it's maybe
There's certainly another option there.
That is another option
if
there.
You're down in a game and he can turn round, and if Griff's on the bench or whatever, he can say on you go and change the shape. But I think we'll go back to the 4-2-3-1 because it seemed to work for the majority spell of the first half of the season, and it seems to be the formation that gets the most out of the players that we've got, because obviously we've still got Frimpong to come in. I don't see Forrest getting dropped to accommodate Frimpong, so you'll need to come back in again. Elanusi, he'll probably stick with Greg Taylor or Bolly, and again it would mean he'd be left out, so I think we'll go back to the 4-2-3-1, but there's another option there.
Elanusi coming back onto the park was a good thing to see him today, and it does, when you see the energy he brings, and he's just got that spark about him that we just not had there on the left hand side since he went out, so it's nice to see him back. But we do need 4-2-3-1 to get him back into the team.
I think I just want to say on that I think there was pressure on the manager and the coaching staff to sort of tweak the system after the defeat to Rangers and the cup final, which albeit we won, but we were second best in the day. I think there was pressure on them to show us something different, and they've done that. I'm not sure that we're going to see it when we go to Ibrox in March. I don't think we're going to see 3-5-2.
I don't know if
I think it's an option depending on how the game develops, but I don't think we're going to start in the big games like that with a 3-5-2.
I think middle to front, everybody's very confident with our team,
that's
but
it's
the back three that's the issue. And if you get an injury to Jozo, or I don't know how long Beaton's going to be out, don't know when Ntcham is going to be back, the three of them don't look too hot at times. So
it's very new though, isn't it?
It's very new, of course it is, but I still I don't know.
It's just, I think we look like we can outscore anybody, but we've looked vulnerable at times, and maybe against better teams that it would cost us.
Although in saying that, if we're talking about vulnerability defensively, we looked vulnerable across the most of December playing the 4-2-3-1. So is it that's been the difference maker, or is it that we have got vulnerabilities in defence?
Maybe it's. I've heard it said this week actually, a discussion I think on Twitter about a couple of people saying it's just personnel, like players just didn't play well enough. Maybe it's no down to the system, which is another point. Ntcham on his birthday today. Declan, it was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, mate.
You nearly share it with Olivier Ntcham, who I thought was good today, Ryan. Scored a good goal. I was right behind it. I could see as soon as it left his foot, it was veering in the wind, and it just fired right in the bottom corner. And I thought between him, Christie and Forrest, they were the pick of the bunch in the first half.
100%. And to see like Ntcham, sometimes like he's either really, really good to the point where he's one of the best players in the country, or he just fades away. And today was one of the days where he was solid on the ball, off the ball, moved it well, and took his goal particularly well. We were standing just behind where you could see the swerve of the ball and where it landed up, and you knew as soon as it left his foot it was landing in the back of the net. Nice to see him get a goal on his birthday, and one of the players that you can only see by the summer. I think he's been itching for a move since last summer, and it would be probably in his thoughts that he would like to get a move away. So the more football that we can see from him, the better football we can see from him as we move forward, then it's only a good thing for us on the park.
Declan on his day, he's absolutely terrific, and I think his awareness is absolutely brilliant.
We can pick some passes out, he takes his goals really well, but we've saw that this season. Today was just another example of that. Saw it in the Stadio Olimpico where he was as cool as a cucumber at the end of that game. But I don't really know where his position will be at Celtic. Whether that move will come in the summer is going to be decided, but it looks as if he's enjoying his football just now, and I think we're a better team with Olivier in the side.
He's definitely, I think he's done, from being at the start of the season where we thought it might have been that summer that he would have been gone. From there, I think he's done really well because he's featured a lot more than I expected him to in most games. When he plays well, you just can't not pick him, and that's a problem with Christie coming back as well. A lot of competition in that area of the pitch. Back to the sort of discussion about formations, do you think we'll go back to 3-5-2 on Wednesday against Hearts?
100%. I think we will. I think it's something that we're toying with just now. It's something that we're trying to bed in to the squad and give them a bit more confidence in that formation. It's something where we've been free-flowing and scoring plenty of goals. I think it's again, the defensive question can come up and we can maybe talk about it in future games, but I think at the moment playing that formation gives us far more attacking prowess than what we've had maybe in the 4-2-3-1 where it's only Edward up front. And when you look at some of the link-up play particularly in the last 2 games between Griffiths, when we've played that formation, Griffiths and Edward, it's just becoming so slick. The movement off the ball for each other, and some of the wee flicks and movements when Griff backheeled the ball for Edward,
he rolled in and Ntcham.
and he rolled in and Ntcham. Phenomenal, and just that awareness that they're building up just now. So I think that we will naturally just slot back into 3-5-2 for Hearts on Wednesday.
That's what you want to see, Declan. Back at Celtic Park, 3-5-2.
We like to attack
going at
teams.
Hearts, who are defensively all
That's
over
the
the place.
Celtic way, go and attack teams, and I think we want to be scoring goals, outscoring. We've saw that since coming back in January. We've been electric up front, and as Ryan says, Griffiths and Edward together have just been outstanding, and long may that continue, that partnership continue to build. But that would only be my worry if we went back to 4-2-3-1, because Edward looks a better striker with Griffiths beside him.
He does, yeah. We're scoring a lot of goals, Ryan, as Declan said there. The goal difference, which has been pretty close all season, I think we're now 11 or 12 ahead. So back to Celtic Park, 2 up front, goals.
Bring on the goals.
Goals.
Bring on the goals, aye.
Welsh can also come back in if you're going to go for the back 3. I think it was cup tied.
He was cup tied today. I thought he would start today. He was cup tied. I forgot he'd played for Morton.
He played for Morton, so that's
In
another
previous
option.
rounds.
Because I don't really know whether Jozo was just rested.
It's a plastic pitch, innit? I don't like Jozo on a plastic pitch. I think Jozo could well come back in. I think we'll go back to 3-5-2. Klimala came off, replaced by Bayo. Bayo did get his goal. Shved came on as well. Good to see him. We've all been looking to see him. Only, again, 5-10 minutes. They're fringe players, and I don't expect to see them feature a lot in the running.
No, I don't expect to see them feature a lot, but I'll tell you the one thing, and it was exactly the same when Shved played earlier in the season. I think when you look at Shved on the ball, he just looks so assured on the ball, and he just looks like he's sharp and he's got something about him. And if we could just get him training and performing well day in, day out, where he becomes then part of Lenny's thoughts, it would be nice to see him develop into that right side, because if we can have someone who can develop into a slot that pushes James Forrest to perform at a higher level on a more regular basis, then that can only be a good thing. But I don't know what it is about him. I don't know if it is the language thing with Lennon talking about him extensively during the week and saying that it just it's no clicked for him yet. I'd like to see it click for him, because I think the boy has got a bit about him.
Declan, Bayo, good to get a goal, good for his confidence, albeit I don't expect him to feature a lot, but good to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, it's good for him to grab a goal, but I was surprised in the transfer window that Celtic never let him go to St Mirren. He's obviously part of some type of plans, whether he's just there as the backup.
Numbers in it.
Whether or not Klimala's, maybe from what he's watched as of yet, is going to be the guy that's going to be a kind of number 3 third choice striker, but we'll just need to wait and see. But anytime getting a goal is obviously good for his confidence, but we want these guys to kick on. It's the same for Marion Shved. As Ryan says, somebody pushing James Forrest is good. That goes for the same as Daniel Arzani. If he gets a wee chance in the team too, but Marion Shved's our player, and we should want him to kick on. It's the same for Bayo. We want the 2 of them challenging to break into that first team eventually.
Definitely. Back to Celtic Park on Wednesday. That's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while. I just said to you today, I can't remember the last time I was at Celtic Park. It would be nice to be back at home.
One home game in about 2.5 months. That'll do us for today. Like the video, comment your own thoughts below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on Tuesday for the build up to Hearts. Thank you.